Well, what's next for worship here at First Baptist in Lawrence? That's the question that has been on our hearts and minds as a leadership team as we've tried to figure out in the middle of a pandemic, what does worship need to look like as we move forward? And you have seen, as we have, some churches that are choosing to go to in-person worship. They're doing a lot of different things to be safe. Some are choosing multiple worship services, kind of spreading it out so they could be socially distanced. Others are kind of capping the number of people, saying, well, only this number of people can come, and then if you're beyond that, you can come back next week. We've seen also news stories of kind of situations in which the case numbers are starting to rise. And unfortunately, some of those have been in gatherings, and some of those gatherings have been in churches. And we have seen those too, and weighed that in our decision process. Also, we've seen locally the case numbers start to rise as well. Watching those same numbers that has led Douglas County to choose to extend the restrictions of Phase 3 2 more weeks. Just to make sure that we, move a little bit further down the road and stay safe together. And so, the question that the spiritual leadership team kind of had in front of them this last week during a 3-hour meeting was basically this: well, what is the best and safest way to worship together as a family moving forward? And of course, we weighed all of these different things. Basically, Wayne, is it more important to be in the same space safely and with masks, and even if we have to do limitations such as congregational singing, the way that many churches are doing, is it more important to be in this space together, or is it more important to kind of retain some of the aspects of worship, even if we have to do it virtually? Those were the kind of things that were in front of us. And we wanted to ask, well, what does a safe in-person worship look like? The worship team actually put together a great plan to say, this is what we're going to do. If we're going to meet in person, it needs to have these things and these elements, and these are things we need to do and not do. And did a great job kind of putting all of that together. And then that's what document was in front of the spiritual leadership team as they made their determinations this last week. The end result is that the next season of worship at First Baptist Lawrence will look a lot like the last several weeks have. We will continue to do virtual worship together. We will continue to meet not in person, but virtually through YouTube premieres, through kind of connection online, finding a way to kind of retain some of that meaningful experience of worship that we've found with each other these last several weeks. Again, we would love to be in the same space, but just thought we would have to sacrifice too many things to be able to do that safely, to be in the same worship space at the same time. Now, we don't presume that this is what every single church should do. We're not saying, well, this is the only way to do it, nor do we presume that this is the way we're going to do it forever. We don't know exactly how long this will last, but we do know that this is a decision that's wise for us, and this is what we're going to do for now. And so I want to take an opportunity to say thank you. Thank you to a ton of folks who have made this possible. First of all, thank you for a tech team that has been amazing, that has just been incredible, making this decision even possible. I mean, they have made this just a wonderful experience of worship to be able to continue through virtual means, and I'm thankful to them. And if you have a way to reach out to them, share your gratitude as well. Because they've made this possible. I'm thankful for the staff who's been flexible, who's been creative, who's been committed through all of this. I'm thankful to the spiritual leadership team and the worship team, these folks who have, again, met for long hours these last couple of weeks. And they do it because they care about you, they care about your safety, they care about your worship experience, and they want it to be a meaningful one. We have gifts in this congregation. We have capabilities a lot of churches simply don't have. And so if you have an opportunity to speak that gratitude out loud, to tell people thank you for what they've been able to do and will do in the days and weeks ahead, be sure to do that. Be sure to thank them for their work. And so while I say the next season will look the same, there will be a few differences. We're going to kind of change the way that we're doing some of the technology. And so instead of recording on Saturday and then showing it on Sunday, we're going to begin a live streaming process. And so we've been working hard to figure out the best way to do that. And so I will actually be in the worship space on Sunday morning as we're the worship leaders, as we live stream that experience to other folks. And then we might be able in these coming days to experiment with some other ways to do worship, not necessarily on Sunday morning, but perhaps, as some churches have chosen to do, we could have car church. We could have an additional worship experience, maybe not on a Sunday morning, but on a Sunday night or another time of the week to come together in the parking lot, have a hymn sing maybe, as some churches have chosen to do. Another thing that some churches are able to do is have a worship experience, not as a gathering, not all of us together in the same place, but to have in this space, in the sanctuary. In the past, we've done prayer vigils or kind of more individualized experiences, and that could be something that we could do down the road. And so we will continue. We will continue to worship. We will continue to be church. We will continue to be family in the days ahead. And to that end, I want to end with an invitation. So as I said on Sunday, a lot of times we don't get the chance to celebrate our church birthday on the church birthday, on the actual day that the church began. But this year we get to. This coming Thursday, we have an opportunity to celebrate our 165th birthday. And of course, we're going to do it over Zoom. We're going to do it virtually. And we're going to do some fun birthday stuff together. So sign up for the link and plan to join us now. So some of the things on the docket we'll have a time to share. So be thinking about what's your first First Baptist memory and what is your best First Baptist memory that you could share with us together on Zoom. We're going to have a pageant. Our kids have been working hard to be able to kind of share the stories of those first 7 individuals that began our church, that started our church 165 years ago on Thursday. And so they'll share that with us. And we'll have some trivia. Now, it's not every day that you have the opportunity to get a teacher of the year in his district, a history teacher to boot, put together a trivia for your church birthday. Not only that, but he is a member of our congregation. Winston Heilman won the Teacher of the Year award in his district as the secondary teacher. And so as a middle school history teacher, he's the perfect person to put together a trivia contest for us. And so created by an award-winning history teacher, we have the opportunity to do that. Now, if you don't know all your details and you want to kind of brush up on some of your First Baptist history, and you don't know exactly where your Strength of Stone book is, there's good news. We have just a couple extra books, and if you'd like a copy and never got one, or maybe don't know where yours is, out in the kind of on the front porch at the church, we'll have a box of them. You can come by and you can grab a copy or 10, and that way you can brush up on your trivia for Winston's trivia contest. And finally, because it's a birthday party, we're going to have cake together, just like communion. It's going to be bring your own cake, so make a cake in these next couple of days and have it ready to go so you can share it. We'll all eat our cake at the same time. And of course, we will sing happy birthday because it's a birthday party and we want to celebrate. So sign up for the link to do that so that you can plan to be there. 7 o'clock this coming Thursday for our birthday together. You know, some folks have asked me, well, when are we going to start church? And I just laugh. I said, church never stopped. We're not going to start church because we never stopped doing church. We never stopped being church. We never stopped worship. We never stopped welcoming. We never stopped working. We never stopped wondering. And so we continue this week and into the weeks beyond to be church together. God is still at work in this place. Let's just keep doing church and watch what God has in store.